Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just got done with a photo shoot with Jay Angelique and my face is beat by the gods. Her name is Kai Ford. She's like amazing. First time I'm working with her. She's amazing. I'll link her in my caption. So today we'll be talking about how you can grow long natural hair. But first, let me start all you off with a very tragic story. So when I was 13 and I had my relaxed hair, I wanted to have nice long hair, you know, because length is same thing. So I went on the nice little Googles and I was like, Googles, how do I get long hair? So Googles told me that I should apply a natural hair mask. So me, 13-year-old me, was like, okay, cool. So the hair mask was mashed bananas, honey, and water. I say, yeah man, I could do that. So I mix up the thing. I say, yes, it's gonna work. So I went, I washed my hair, I put the mask in, you know, I comb it through to make sure I get through everything. When your girl come out the shower, I noticed like not really dandruff flakes but little flakes in my hair, like the bananas wasn't mashed up fine enough. But I was like, that's a small thing, man, that'll go away. Who tell me that? When I went to school is because I just doing like this and I had one set of banana in my hair. So for the first 3 periods I was there taking out banana from my hair, to the point where the vice principal was like, you need to call your mother and go to the hairdresser. And I was like, oh shit. And when I told my hairdresser what I did, she was just like, you should really, you know, look at these things on the internet because not everybody know what they're talking about. And long story short, I ended up having to cut my hair. So this video is 15 things you must stop doing to get your long natural hair. First things first, do not believe everything that you read on the internet. Okay, don't be me. You see when people posting up, oh, I'm doing this daily cleanse, and oh, I'm doing this DIY hair mask. Do your research. Like, I have nothing against internet hacks for longer hair, but do your research. Get reviews from people, get feedback from people to see if these methods are actually working or if you're wasting your time. Second thing, do not touch your hair. I don't know why, but I think because I didn't have natural hair for most of my life that I'm just obsessed with my curl pattern. So I find that my hand is always in my hair touching it, but you need to stop touching your hair. Reason being is that when you moisturize your hair and you keep touching it, your hand is going to be taking away the moisture from your hair and it's going to get frizzy. So stop touching your hair. Don't sleep without a bonnet. If you just go into bed just so with your hair like this and you're just rolling around, your hair will break up because when you twist and turn, your hair getting trapped and, you know, it'll break up. Not to mention the cotton dries out your hair, so it's more prone to be frizzy. So make sure you secure your silk bonnet. Do not cut your own hair. I personally had an obsession with cutting my own hair because I would just, you know, be playing in it and I'd be like, but why this part straight though? Why this hair strand feeling like this? And I just take up the scissors and I would cut it. And now the middle of my hair uneven. So if it is that, you know, you feel like you have split ends or you have breakage, go to the hairdresser. Go to a professional. Don't just be chopping your hair just so, because you might be chopping, and then when you finally go for your cut, your hairdresser is like, well, you know, it's real uneven, so I have to even out everything. And then everything that you would have been working for is like for nothing because you messed it up by cutting your own hair. Do not bleach your hair. It's very tempting to want to color your hair or do something different but I strongly recommend not bleaching your hair or not bleaching all of your hair, just because the peroxide, it damages your hair texture and it makes it more prone to breakage. So have some discretion. There are also products nowadays where it's like a little coloring gel in a tube or whatever, and you just put it in your hands and you rub it through your hair, and you're able to get colored hair without bleaching and damaging your hair. Do not avoid a healthy diet. I know we all hate to hear this, but you have to drink water, you have to eat high protein foods. By doing these things, it feeds your hair from the inside, and it just makes it that much easier to grow longer hair and retain your growth. Do not use heat on your hair, especially for natural hair. When you use heat, it tends to frizz up more. Now, don't be on my afro, right? I purposely want my hair looking like this, so don't be on my afro. But aside from that, don't use heat in your hair because it tends to break it, it tends to promote split ends, and honestly I find it's better to have a blow dryer and use the cool setting because it dries your hair without promoting all that frizz and breakage. Do not wash your hair daily. I cringe every time someone tells me that they wash their hair every day. No, baby girl, no. You see, especially for naturalistas, no, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Our hair texture, just because it's curly doesn't mean it's dirtier than other hair textures, so you don't need to be washing all the time. When you wash your hair too much, you're stripping away all the oils from your scalp, and those are essential for your hair growth, so you're basically working backwards against yourself. I personally try to wash my hair once a week or once every 2 weeks depending on my level of activity. And always make sure to condition when you shampoo, right? Don't brush your hair while it's wet. I personally, if I have to brush my hair, I'm not even using a brush. I'm using a white tooth comb or my afro pick, and that's in the shower when it has conditioner in it already. And you can't just, no, you will get breakage, trust me. So as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, you need to start from the ends of your hair and work your way up to your roots, because that way you detangle the ends and it's not one big knot pulling. So make sure to secure a white tooth comb along your natural hair journey. Don't skip deep conditioning. Deep conditioning is very important for the health of your hair. By doing a deep condition, especially if you put it in your hair and go underneath a dryer for a while, it helps to infuse moisture back into your strands. A deep conditioner makes your hair feel very soft and very moist and very nourished, and I would recommend doing a deep condition at least once every 2 weeks if possible. Don't overlook hair supplement products. There's actually a lot of hair supplement products on the market now. I don't know the name of it, but it's like a little blue sugar bear gummy thing, and I've seen reviews on it and people are saying that it helps their hair grow, not like 10 inches overnight, but at least it helps the hair with the biotin and the protein. Don't overdo protective styles. Like, yes, protective styles help your hair to grow, but if you're depending on it too much, it might work against you and break up your hair. So for example, if you have braids in your hair and it's very tight on your hairline, you're not doing yourself justice, because when you take that out, your hairline is going to be gone. Another thing, people like to keep braids in for like forever. No, don't do it. Because when you're having braids past 6 weeks, 8 weeks, your natural hair is not getting any air or moisture. So when you undo your braids, your hair is going to be very brittle because it wasn't taking care of it. The whole point of protective styles is to not have to brush it or comb it or detangle it every day and give it a rest. But you cannot be resting your hair for so long. You need to air out your hair, and you really cannot be having no protective style for more than 2 months tops. Stop being nasty. Shout out the girl who was tracking my ex and having a weave for 2 flicking years. Yeah, boo boo, I see you. Do not use rubber bands in your hair. It might be very tempting, especially when you want to do like bantu knots, but if possible you shouldn't use rubber bands because the rubber itself starts to melt onto your hair after a while, especially if you live in a tropical climate like Trinidad or anywhere in the Caribbean. If possible, you should try to get a silk scrunchie or those thin woogies and use those instead. Don't mess up your hair with your rubber bands. Don't do it. That rubber melting on your hair. Pressure in the dance. Don't use products willy-nilly. Just because Becky and whoever using products and they seeing hair growth, it doesn't mean that it's good for your hair, because based on your hair texture as well as your hair porosity, certain products not going to work on your hair. And even people who have like similar hair textures, it may not, like what may work for me might not work for my friend, because that's just how life is now. But honestly, you should really try to find a product or product line that agrees with your hair, that makes your hair feel how you want it to feel, moist and nourished and everything that's good in life. Last but certainly not least, don't think that you could grow long hair overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day, so don't expect these amazing results. My hair right now, this is 16 months of growth. I still can't put my hair in one when it's dry, but it's way longer than how it was a year ago, you know. So just be patient, trust the process. Know that it's just like anything else in life. You need to continue with a certain regimen, you need to stick to it, you need to be consistent, and you need to nurture and nourish and love the hair that you have. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys liked it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you have any suggestions or questions for future videos, leave it below in the comments. Bye.